Good afternoon, everyone. This is Woody Collins with Congo Helping Hands, and we're here to talking about Congo. We're going to be talking about two subjects that we have said before, but they have risen to the top of the stack due to some recent activity. The first one we're going to be talking about is the business of Ebola, and that's about, I called it before, business Ebola 2.0, but it's how the Congolese are maybe taking advantage of the situation. And the second subject we're going to talk about is uh, what happens when you have displaced people and a food crisis. So we'll get started on those two topics for today. You're welcome to leave comments, questions in your chat box, and we'll get those answered. But let's go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Woody Collins, and I'm president of Congo Helping Hands, and we're going to be talking about the Congo. Okay, uh, there's been millions of dollars that has been allocated to fight the Ebola outbreak. And what you have is a throng of people, a lot of people coming in from the Western nations. They're coming in to help the Congolese fight this epidemic, Ebola epidemic, because as I recently said, that the Ebola epidemic now is really watched because it jumped out of Africa, out of the Congo, well, actually out of Western Africa last time when it was in Liberia and Senegal and those areas, and it affected people who went back to Europe and also to the United States. So now when they see that there's an Ebola outbreak, the Western nations really take note of it and try to get it stamped out as quickly as possible. So it's a large influx of money. And recently, this week, the ambassador of the UK, the United Kingdom, the ambassador of the United States, Mike Hammer, and also the ambassador from Canada, they went and talked to President Felix Tshisekedi about this whole problem of why are the nations who are coming to help them fight the Ebola, why are they being taken advantage of? And we talked before about, the situation is you're going into an area that does not have a lot of resources. Congo don't have a lot of resources. There's not that many uh, cars, not that many trucks, and especially in these isolated areas like out from Bendaka, where these places at, the people are very poor, so they don't have resources. All of a sudden, when you come in there with massive amounts of people, 40 to 50 people, which you don't think of about, it puts a strain on the local population, not only for food, but also uh, if there is even a vehicle, a motorcycle, something available. So when these people come in, the health people come in to fight the Ebola, they don't bring a lot of, you know, transportation assets to them with them. They may bring some food, may bring their equipment and everything like that. So you may have a truck that's owned by somebody, and they're going to want to rent that truck out for maybe 5 to 10 times amount that seems excessive. And that's one of the things that the ambassadors were talking to the Congo about is, you know, why should they have to pay all these exorbitant fees that they're being taken advantage of, and they're there to help the country itself. So as I said, this is Ebola 2.0. Uh, there's that large influx of money, and the people know that the Americans, the British, and the Canadians are coming there to, that they got money and they got huge budgets, and therefore they're going to, try to make the best of it. And, that's, to me, that's capitalism. I mean, I can go, just like anybody knows, if you go down to Florida at certain times of the year, like for winter, that it's going to be, room rates are going to be sky high, rental car rates are going to be sky high. Everything is going to be more expensive than it would normally be. And if you go to, I remember when I was living in Arizona, we used to go up to the resorts up in Tucson during the summer, and the rooms were really reasonable for what you were getting. You go into these big resorts, and people, they were the price of what a normal room would cost to stay there. It was because they had a lot of excess capacity during the summer months, because they were really building up for the winter months when there's a large influx of people coming to to the uh, to the Tucson and Phoenix and all these places that's warm. So is that bad? I would say not really. So, but anyway, the ambassadors went in to talk to the president of the Congo to complain about these exorbitant prices that they were charging for maybe motorbikes, maybe cars, maybe even to rent buildings and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's just, I feel for them. However, I've been on that side of the fence where I know that they don't have a lot of resources. And so when you come into a place that has scarce resources, the prices are high. When you come into a place that has abundant resources, the prices are low. So that's just the nature of supply and demand. So I'm waiting to see what else the ambassadors say in Pacific, if they produce another report to see what they are really complaining about. But at this point, I think it's just supply and demand. I may be wrong, but I'm going to look into it a little bit more. So let's get to the second subject. We were talking earlier about displaced people, people who are running from their area, from their homes, because of violence, from militia and different organizations. Uh, you know, they run with the clothes on their back and maybe something. And what they do is they go into the forest and hide out. And there's a situation where they don't have food. So right now in the Congo, uh, they listed some of the World Health Organizations listed the Congo is the #1 threat now of food insecurity and a hunger crisis going on. And that's because you got the East that's really been violent, and then you have also the Kasai regions where we are at that's been also affected by violence, and the people are suffering. And so, Congo is one of as they say, the #1 country out of 10, out of the list of 10 countries they listed that is food insecure, and there is a big possibility of a hunger crisis going on there. Uh, but I'm going to jump on and on the situation in the Kasai region where we work at to see how it's going out. But I've been talking to people recently, and they did not mention to me that it was a crisis at this point of things was going on. But after I saw the report, and also after talking with my colleague last week, he mentioned that the police had fired some tear gas, and it was tear gas to break up a crowd of refugees in town who had came over to the government building to get more uh, money or survival, you know, basically funds to live off of. And that would have been, and I thought immediately, I thought I'm going, those people should have been returning to their homes because they were there over 2 years ago when I was there in Kananga. They arrived from Angola, and so if you still got people who have not uh, decided that they wanted to go back to their home villages, or they're still scared to go back to their home villages, yeah, that's a problem because there is not a lot of ways that you can make money or get jobs or something like that, and they're living off of humanitarian support from the different agencies and from the government of Congo, which probably is not putting out much money at all. So I'll be following up on that to see how difficult the situation is in Kananga, so that we can, see whether we're going to have to do another food drive like we did a couple years ago, and get people fed and things like that. So this has been Woody Collins with another episode of Talking About the Congo, and we talked today about two things: about Ebola 2.0, or the business of Ebola, or the business of Ebola, as has been cited by the Western nations when the Canadian ambassador and the UK ambassador and the American ambassador, Mike Hammer, who's the American ambassador, went in to talk to the president of Congo, uh, Felix Tshisekedi. So, and then we also just finished up talking about what the situation is with this displaced people in the Congo. That we have a lot of people that are displaced, and there is no way to but from the outside to keep these people fed and things like that. So I thank you for stopping by and enjoying it. Please remember to subscribe to us on Facebook, Congo Helping Hands on Facebook, and also on YouTube. And these broadcasts will be sent to those locations every day that we do this talk about Congo. So thank you again. Thank you for stopping by. And as I always say, take care of yourself and your family. Be safe and be blessed. We will talk with you later.